Hello! Today is technically day 5 of Linktober, and day 5 lasted a total of 3 days due to a mixture of schoolwork, actual work, and my laptop just straight up hating me. If I remember right, there are at least 3 points during this video where Clip Studio either crashed or lost pen pressure on me, so I had to restart it. But honestly, I think it's a price well worth paying. I really do love this program. I think it's just because my computer is one that I kind of beat to hell, in that I have a billion programs up and running at any given time, which, if you ask anyone, they'll see it. And is also the reason why I lost some footage at the end again, so you're gonna see another big gap at the end for footage. Today I actually had to do a lot more design than I'd expected, because I wanted to do silhouettes of each of the master items, being the master sword, the master mask, and the master shield. Master mask is a unique item that's specific to this particular quest storyline. Of the different items, sorry, I've got a bit of a cold. Of the different items, the Master Sword was probably the easiest to design, and from them, the Master Shield was the most difficult. When it came to the Master Sword, I looked up a bunch of old references, and in fact I took this one to the point of designing it in its entirety, and then storing it in a folder for later use when I actually need it. But this one I designed entirely because I was actually working off the weapon that I had loosely based off the concept of the Master Sword, which I gave to, the Master a few pages earlier. So what I did was I copied that design, I can speak today, that design similarly, and I just tried to make it seem a little more organic, as well as match some other old British broadswords that I'd seen in pictures and images and whatnot. So instead of having that skinny bit in the middle, what I set it up for was that it had a little taper inward and then another taper, so that it didn't feel like there was a weak, thin point on the blade, which honestly was something I've always hated about the Master Sword. Why would you put a thin part in there right by the guard? What? Why? That's like, it's gonna break right there. I just never understood it. So that one was relatively simple to design, even though it was the last thing I put on there. The Master Shield, on the other hand, oh my god, you look up Master Shield and you look at all the variants, and there's not a lot there. Sometimes you get little, swoopy silver features on it varying, but that's about it. And I saw a few other people who were doing quests, and some had drastically changed the shape of the shield. But I didn't want to do that too much, just because it doesn't usually change. So, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So the more I thought about it, I decided to change it just slightly, because normally it's a relatively small shield. This time I decided to elongate it, think similar to the royal shields in Breath of the Wild, but not quite that long. I wanted to elongate it just so that, okay, it's a slightly different type of shield, but it's still a Master Shield, because I feel like that thing's been used so many times, it definitely needs to have been reforged at least once, please. Then there was the Master Mask. Like I said, I've been looking at other people's quest stuff who are ahead of me, because I am very far behind, but I was looking at it, and I ended up deciding on a Venetian mask, or at least a variant on it. You'll see the mask that I referenced in there, but I decided to go with that just because when looking at all the Legend of Zelda masks, I was originally going to go with a Kitsune mask, but there's already a Kitsune or Kitsune-esque mask in this game. So I didn't want to do that, and all the other traditional Japanese masks, while I liked them, were going to be a pain in the ass to draw. But the Venetian masks, they were relatively simple and relatively easy to see. For this one, I kind of worked off the design I was given, I kind of didn't. Because the eyes in particular I wanted to make unique. When it came to the eyes, I wanted one to seem a little more stoic and serious, and the other needed to seem a little more playful and open. It made it look a little weird in the end, but I still kind of like it, and I think I'm going to stick with that decision. So, that one, I think it went well. As for the colors, you'll see later? I don't know, I'm not quite sure how far in this is. But you'll see that the colors that I picked to outline the different weapons, I picked blue for the Master Sword because, like, it's the Master Sword. Though in hindsight, I should have colored them based off the regions they were found in, because when I looked back and that idea occurred to me, I was hoping that everything but the Master Sword was colored correctly. And, oh boy, was I wrong. Everything was colored wrong. I made the Master Sword blue, the Master Mask red, and the Master Shield green. The Master Sword should have been green because it's found in the Lost Woods. The Master Mask should have been blue because it's found in the Zora domain. And the Master Shield should have been red because it's found in Death Mountain. Thankfully, it's not a hard fix. I just gotta select the layers and change the color setting on them. It's really not hard. But I done screwed that one up. That's another thing to add to my list of things I'm gonna retcon before the print run. Or maybe I won't, who knows. I don't. I did decide that I am going to be doing a print run of this, and I decided I'm going to be selling print copies of the entire zines for, well, zine? No, the entire series of these comic pages for around $7. So it'll have a a full color cover, which I'm gonna do after all of Linktober's done. It's gonna be front cover, back cover, inner front cover, inner back cover. And aside from that, you'll have 31 pages of Linktober, an intro page, and as well as, because I don't just do art, I do writing as well, a written format of essentially the story that the hero is going through in the back of the book, so that you can actually read through what in my head I was trying to get across via the pages. Because pages without dialogue, it's heavily up for interpretation. So, I think that'll be really fun. It's probably not going to come out until definitely when I finish all the pages, which I've resigned myself to knowing I'm not going to finish on time at all. Like, that is just straight up not gonna happen. So, I'm gonna keep working into November for Linktober, even though it's, October. But I'm gonna keep working into November, because you know what? The whole goal is to draw every day. And I am drawing every day. So, I'm meeting the challenge. I'm just gonna take it to a month and a half while also doing National Writing Month. And also writing up the story. Because, you see, my National Writing Month story is gonna be something very different. I'll probably make a video detailing that later. Probably once I finish National Writing Month. Anyway, this one was really fun because I actually got to show off the outfit of the sage, and you also notice that I had to make a little color palette buddy of the sage twice because, whoops, Clip Studio crashed. But I got to do a lot of drawing of the sage, and I just love her outfit because compared to our hero and his hair, she's just so easy to draw. I don't even have to worry about eyes with her. It's just all expressions and, well, mouth and eyebrow expressions, as well as body language. So all I gotta do is, shape her body and whatnot. Of this whole page, I think the part that I had the most difficulty with wasn't even the weapons. The part I had the most difficulty with was the prophecy scroll. Because, well, that one was, in hindsight, easy to do. Once I actually had to get down to it and draw in like an, ancient rune kind of way, Oh boy, did I suck. I tried to make something that looked like the master, but like from a side view, and I don't think it came across. Honestly, I think he just kind of looks stupid, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Alright. For these pages, I also decided to do a different technique where it was really just go over them with do all of the poses for them, then do the line art for all of them, then do the flat colors for all of them, then do all the then do all the lighting and shading and whatnot. You know, final finish, fit and finish. Instead of doing it, you know, panel by panel, completely finishing the entire panel, so I could zoom out and then take a look at the line art and make sure it'll load first, which for me is very important. And that was the majority of my time, because I ended up getting interrupted several times during this. Today I've been working for something like 4 hours on it, and even then it's currently almost midnight. So I managed to get 4 hours in today of straight work. I only managed to get an hour in yesterday and 2 the day before, because things have been hectic. Yay, midterms. But by the way, I think it's going really, really well. If you're looking for the book, I'll probably put up an interest check later on. Maybe. Yeah, well, definitely. I'll probably put it up in the last week or so of October. And if you're interested in getting a copy of this, go ahead. It'll be full color, quality print, all that good stuff. Because I found a nice printing company that they do it really nice for very affordable prices. So, that should be good. I'm gonna, if this runs, because I need to make sure there's interest before I fully commit, then they're gonna be available on Etsy, and I will provide a link to all that. So, yeah, this should be fun. Enjoy the rest of the video. I hope we've made it past the insert missing footage message here bit, but if we haven't, yeah, there was missing footage, and it was at the end, so, whoops. Enjoy.